guns, gear, and on-target training out here in Oregon. We're going to do a quick overview of the Glock 44 pistol. It's a pistol designed around the .22 long rifle cartridge, and that cartridge is inexpensive. It's a great plinking round. It has some application, for shooting squirrels or small game. But it's one of the rounds that many people buy, and they buy it at large quantities because it isn't that expensive, and then they go to the range and they plink, shooting at targets and having fun, developing their fundamental skills and other things like that. 22s, in my estimation, are one of my favorite calibers to teach people to shoot on, to use as a training aid, and just to have fun with, right? Take the family out with a 22, any type of 22, and you're going to be able to have the folks that are shooting it be safe and enjoy the cartridge because there is no felt recoil, or the felt recoil is minimal at best, is the way I'd describe it. Folks, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends and family, and finally invite them to subscribe, because ultimately more subscribers helps us share our content with a broader audience. So if you do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you still show up and listen to me. So thank you. All right, let's talk about the Glock 44. So the pistol itself is defined as a subcompact pistol. Its overall length is about 7¼ inches overall length. The barrel is just over 4, so 4.02 inches. If you looked at it and you didn't look very closely, you'd say, oh, that's a Glock 19. There's some differences to it, but you'd think it might be a Glock 19. And that is, in my mind, that compact size pistol is very popular for a lot of different people because it allows good concealability. It allows reasonable magazine capacity depending on the types of magazines that you have, and it's often a fairly good balanced pistol for people who don't necessarily have big hands or haven't shot a lot, to sort of get started with and get a sense of the gun itself. So I'm a fan of compacts. I own several of them, and Glock 19s, M&P compacts, a couple of different of those, as well as the Glock 48. So again, that 4-inch or 4.5 or 4-inch barrel length, not a full size frame in terms of the extension, the length of the frame. Again, I don't have big hands, so that's not really an issue to me. But I do like the size, and I found it very useful in teaching new shooters who are brand new, not to give them a giant gun, although I think starting with a full-size handgun is the best solution. But many people are looking for something that meets that gap between a subcompact and a full size. So the compact version, such as this Glock 44, does a nice job bridging those different sizes. The pistol itself is extremely lightweight. With the magazine in it, unloaded, it's 14.64 ounces. I mean, it's very light. When you first pick it up, of course, you're like, wow, this is really light. It's not a toy, and we don't treat it as a toy. But it is very lightweight, and again, that has some advantages for teaching new shooters, many of whom haven't had the chance yet to develop some of the upper body strength and to deal with grip and all those kinds of things. So starting with a lighter weight gun, not a super lightweight gun, but a lightweight gun or a lighter weight gun with a very, very mild, soft shooting caliber in terms of felt recoil is a great way to teach and scaffold people up to larger calibers. So I'm a fan of 22 pistols. In addition, 22 pistols are just plain fun to shoot. There's no recoil. There's not a lot of noise. Of course, you want to use ear protection, eye protection, right? Of course, we want to use that. But a 22, and if you put a suppressor on it, so a 22 they are simply a joy to shoot because they're super quiet. The Glock does not come set up with a barrel that's threaded. So you need to add a barrel. Shame on Glock, but again, they're in it to sell as many pistols as they can, and your average person doesn't care about suppressing their pistols. But that's one of the things I wish they would have done. It has the standard sort of things that we expect from a Glock pistol in regards to the, sights. So the plastic sights, these are adjustables, and of course that plastic dot on the front and that, what I call that sort of U-notch in the back, that's just sort of the standard Glock that you get out of the box. And they're fine, they're fine. This gun is not intended to be a target pistol. I'm sure there are some people who, could perform and shoot much better than I can, and so maybe they could use it for that. But it's really designed as a trainer and a plinker, and it produces great accuracy. It does come with what Glock is calling their marksmanship barrel, which they purport that it provides greater accuracy. Hard to tell. Probably just me. I'm not a very good shot, so it's probably some people with greater skills than mine might have better tools. The trigger feels very much just like a Glock trigger, and that's one of the things I like. So we're going to show this. Again, we've got that a little bit of squish, a little bit more, and then we've got a nice break, and then we've got a nice tactile reset. I happen to like that. Some people don't. Again, we're probably talking 5.5 to 6 pounds on the pull itself. Feels like a stock Glock trigger. Not a problem. Totally fine from my standpoint in terms of the trigger out of the box. It'll get better as I shoot it more. The other thing you'll note that the Glock, this version of the Glock, has the front slide serrations, and a lot of people like that for press checking. I mean, I like coming up here and doing that. Doesn't make any difference to me, quite frankly. I get that. Other people will come underneath and do that pinch coming underneath. I prefer to keep my hands away from the muzzle. That's just me. Maybe because I'm already handicapped and I don't want to add any more grief to it. But it's just easier for me to grip the back and do a press check that way. However, it does have a cutout. It's hard to see here. There we go. The cutout allows you to see whether you have a round chamber. If you want a simple, quick check and you're on the range and you look down there, you can see brass and you can say, I've got brass in the chamber. Well, folks, in terms of reliability with the pistol, we got very good results with CCI standard weight, with mini mags, some other high velocity sort of bolt packs that I had. But I also got more inconsistencies with that bolt packaged ammunition. I might get 1 or 2 out of every 20 rounds where I just get a failure to eject. Or it just, like the primer didn't ignite, so I just do my tap rack assess. But overall, it seemed no less reliable than my other 22 pistols. One thing to note is a few years ago when it first came out, a number of people reviewed them and they were having lots and lots of problems. I think Glock has done some updates. I don't know what they are, but I just didn't see or experience that. And many people I know who have purchased the pistol over the last year will tell you they've not experienced those similar kinds of failures to fire and failure to eject. So hopefully that puts some of your frustration or your anxiety about what's the right pistol to use, and will the pistol itself function and cycle 22 ammunition. As many of you know who own 22s, especially 22 pistols, the ammunition match between the type of ammunition, its shape, its velocity, to the pistol itself is really important. So I have some pistols that seem to prefer certain types of ammunition or certain brands. Not a big deal to me, but some people, I guess are expecting to every 22 long rifle pistol should function with anything. Well, we had good success with the functioning of this pistol. We did find that it likes high velocity ammunition, but not all high velocity ammunition. We also found that it likes standard velocity, the CCI versions, or at least lots that I have. I bought a bunch of the CCI standard velocity. That works very, very well. But some of the other types don't work so well. We also found that the Federal, in this gun, the Federal target, I think it's called target ammunition, it's in the small boxes, I think 325 rounds per box. Not crazy about that. I don't mind that in a 22-2 pistol, especially something like this that is a sort of a cross trainer for me for Glock 19. In that, if I get some sort of stoppage, some sort of failure to eject, which is what we saw a couple of times, then I'm just going to do tapped rack, assess, which is a good skill to have. And sometimes people, when they watch me shoot, go, how did you clear that malfunction so fast? Well, I've loaded a lot of ammunition, and a lot of my reloads are not particularly good in terms of quality. I don't seat the primer all the way or whatever. So I did get some that I have to clear quickly out of the gun. So I don't really mind those stoppage clearance drills. They're not a big deal to me, and I think they are valuable from a training standpoint. But if you're really concerned about ever having that, then spend some time, get a bunch of different ammunition, and try them with your particular pistol. The pistol does come with a 10-round magazine. It comes with two 10-round magazines, as well as all the different back straps, so you can really, do the Glock thing and add a bunch of back straps. I think it's fine just the way it is. The 10-round magazines have tabs on either side. You see here, you pull these tabs down to load each round in. It takes a total of 10, so you can have 10 plus 1 in capacity. There are aftermarket mags. ProMag, I think, makes one. Well, I know they do because I bought a few of them, that are 18-round magazines. I don't have one of those available to show you right now, but those are other options, so you can add to that. So you could potentially have a 19-round capacity, one in the chamber and 19 rounds. CCI mini mags or something like that. High velocity, it tends to really love that ammunition. That's would be a way that if I had no other choice and only had this particular pistol for my personal protection or self-defense, everyday carry, normally I would not recommend a 22 pistol. But if that's all, either A, I could operate, B, that was all I could afford the ammo, or this was it, then something like the CCI mini mags, $16 for 100 round, so that's a lot compared to what it used to be, but the bottom line is that's a cycles. So if personal protection, EDC, something like that, all I could carry is a 22, or all I had access to was a 22, I have yet to meet anyone who says it's okay to shoot me with a 22 because it won't hurt that much, but don't shoot me with anything greater than a 380. If it's 380, maybe you can shoot me with that, but go to 9mm or something like that. No, don't shoot me with that. I think most people just don't want to get shot. So while it wouldn't be my primary choice, I would not discount it if someone who is recoil sensitive maybe was not going to spend a lot of time training and understanding how to mitigate recoil so they could step up or scaffold up to a larger caliber. This might be a reasonable option. The other option it might apply to is someone with a very small stature, or someone maybe who didn't have a lot of dexterity with their hands. So there are some benefits of a 22 caliber pistol. So as we think about things that we can use for mission-specific applications, I never have told any student that you can only use this or you can only use that. My personal choice would be I wouldn't want that. I mean, I would want sort of a minimum of 380. Generally, I carry a 9mm. Bottom line, guys, I think the Glock 44 is a really nice little plinker, a good trainer, especially if you own a Glock 19 or other Glock pistols. It's really a good match. It allows you to shoot inexpensive, low recoiling rounds, do it more frequently, and it's a great way for people who are new to pistols to learn on a caliber that's not quite as intimidating in terms of initially as some other larger calibers. So it's just something to think about. So bottom line, guys, 2 thumbs up for the Glock 44. I was really impressed with it. Thanks so much for watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe.